So hello everybody, I'm Jelle Kabbes, I'm from the Netherlands. I'm a teacher of geography and I do projects for Globe. And I would like to point out one particular project that we've been working on and we tested this year. And we're hoping to make it better every year. And I also would like to take the opportunity to address a new project plan, which I'm eagerly to find new partners, and even so in schools, but also from scientists throughout Europe. And I will talk about that with you later. Okay, so this project is about sustainable lighting. And I'm just acting like you are my students in my own classroom. And I think the first principle is making them enthusiastic and to let them sense something and do something to activate them. So I will put this under this table and just go into 3 stages of durable lighting. So this is the durability of a match. So let's see, can you do this please?
It's difficult.
And try to keep it in your fingers as long as possible. Just grab another one. And
very unsustainable.
yeah. Okay. So watch your fingers. And if this goes on, the whole class is laughing and watch out your fingers, and then their minds are activated, and this is what I'm looking for. So if it almost goes out, so could you please pull?
I don't know.
Could you?
Sorry.
Okay, no, it doesn't matter. So this was about let's say 10 seconds. The durability of a match equals like 10 seconds. And now we're lighting, so the match, you can put out the match. The tea light, it's suffering right now, but let's assume that this will go on and we won't wait for it because the presentation time won't allow me to, but let's say it's approximately 4 hours. And so now I can teach the thing about what's more sustainable. So the durability of a match is not as good as tea light is. So then my question is, could you put on the bigger candle? And normally I would keep these on all lesson or even all day. Some students come back and to see if it's out already. So I'll ask them to estimate the durability of this candle. So can you make a guess?
6 hours.
6 hours. Okay, it depends of course which kind of candles you use. The candle that I use in my class is almost like 30 hours. So then that's the beginning of what sustainable lighting could be. So their mind is set for this particular subject. I will now switch on to a movie that students made from the project, so you get a nice view of what it is. So this is where I introduced the sustainability of lamps, or light bulbs or lamps, and to let them see the common theory about what we just saw with the matches, going to tea light to candles, and to see the durability of lighting. There's also another question that I use to activate them, and I'll let them guess. So let's concentrate on the both of you, and you both can tell me what you think is the most brightest place on Earth, and not brightest as in how smart they are, but how well it is lit by lightning. So is this Schipluiden, which is in the Netherlands, or for the next one? Is it Las Vegas, United States, or is it Hong Kong, or is it Macau? And so you make a guess. Which one do you think it is? You can have a discussion about this.
I guess Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, and you said Hong Kong. And is there anybody who's saying, well, no, it's this must be different?
Where are the greenhouses?
Exactly. Thank you for that. And this is what I try to accomplish with my students, to outsmart me, you know. And so they say, this cannot be so easy. It must be easier than this, or there must be an explanation for it. So yeah, it is Schipluiden, the Netherlands. It's known as the most bright place in the world, and this is where the greenhouses are, and a lot of our products, agriculture products, we grow them in here. So this is a really bright place. Okay, so this was my introduction on sustainable lighting, and how I use this introduction with my students. So this is the National Light Measurement Project that we've been working on, and we give students to build their own spectroscope. They can build it with their DVD or CD and toilet roll. Or you can use a spectroscope which was provided to Globe Netherlands from funding partners, which were interesting to find to make students enthusiastic about measurements and using instruments. So they funded this project, and they could build their own. Could you put on the big screen?
I need to swap displays. Because I'm seeing the main thing and you're seeing
the
other one. But
you see something different, right?
yeah.
Okay, well, I can do it like this as well. We'll send them out in the streets. I will send my students out on the street. First, we build this spectroscope in the classroom. They love to build things, make things with their hands. Some don't like it, and they just use this spectroscope, which is already made for them, or they would like to make it on their own.
How much do they cost approximately?
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
Public Labs has a DIY spectrometer that costs something like $4 US.
$4 US, okay.
If you film your own CD and put it into a cardboard tube, you can make them for nothing.
Yeah, yeah. But on this way, they could sponsor it a little bit, and they could show their name as well, and that's how we found this funding partner. So we send them out on the street and during nighttime, and they got. We say, okay, you have to go to this street, housing blocks, and they go at night, and they are looking inside the houses, and throughout the spectrum they can see which kind of lighting is used. So a normal lighting, so the light bulb is it what it's called, I think, in English, and saving light and LED light. And if they collect all the data in the streets, they come back the next day in school, and we have the laptops opened, and they go to this site which is provided by this Edu GIS, it's called, and it makes it possible to to enter the data and to visualize it on street level. So now you have this big map of the Netherlands, and when you zoom in, to the town, you can see how the city is doing. And if you even zoom in further, you can see on how this housing block works and how it is lit. So then you can also, before you go into this neighborhood, you have to let them know you are doing this thing, because otherwise they'll be they think it's strange when a lot of young people are looking into their to the houses. So but this gives also a really good opportunity to promote citizen science in a letter or in the newspaper, and it's also good for your school to promote your school locally to attract new students. This company, they're really interested in the project, and they say, okay, we want to feedback to your students, and they so addressed a movie directly for our students, and we could show this in our classroom and say, okay, we have about 13,000 measurements in this year, and she was very impressed by the number of people and the measurements being taken. And she is talking about some cost savings, so that's an interesting part as well. How much can you save with durable lighting?
Hoi, ik ben Marieke Stolk. Ik werk bij Milieu Centraal. Wij zijn een voorlichtingsorganisatie over energie en milieu in het dagelijks leven. En via onze website geven we mensen praktische tips hoe ze rekening kunnen houden met milieu en energie kunnen besparen. Globe Nederland heeft mij gevraagd om naar de gegevens te kijken van de nationale lichtmeting. En als ik daarnaar kijk, zie ik dat er 13.000 waarnemingen zijn geweest. Dat is echt heel erg goed, dus top. En wat ook wel leuk is dus om te zien, is dat het aantal gloeilampen sinds 2015 in de huizen is gedaald. Van 30% in 2015 naar 27% in 2017. Dus dat is een mooie daling. En LED-lampen zijn juist gestegen van bijna 30% in 2015 naar 37% in 2017. Het is natuurlijk een positieve ontwikkeling dat er steeds meer LED in de Nederlandse huizen komt te hangen. Want LED-lampen zijn veel zuiniger dan gloeilampen. Ze besparen zo'n 85% op de stroom. En gezien het feit dat er dus nog zo'n 25% gloeilampen in de huizen hangen, ja, is er nog een hele hoop besparingspotentieel in Nederland. En het zou natuurlijk heel goed zijn om daar een campagne op te gaan voeren, om mensen op te roepen om al die gloeilampen te vervangen door LED-lampen. Het is goed voor het milieu, maar ook heel goed voor je eigen portemonnee.
Possibilities for improvement. Okay, so this is approximately what the project is like. Go on the streets, measure, come back, enter data, visualize it for the public. What we are looking for is that you could map it every year, and so you do a measurement one time, then you make a campaign for durable lighting and the savings that could be made by the households, and then come back after half year and do it again. Then you can even see some differences. At least that's what we're hoping for. This might open up the possibility for a battle between streets to engage people to do it. So there's a lot of possibilities. We are still searching for more funding partners, like Philips. We're trying to find our way into this company. So if anybody has an entrance to Philips Lighting, I will be very interested to get them on board. Yes, you can continue, thanks. Limitations to this project as well. Not all houses, rooms, lights are visible. Seasonal research in the darkest moments of the years only. And privacy. You need to inform citizens, just as I stated. And not all houses are really good for this research. So you will never get 100% coverage of the Netherlands. Limitation to the subject. Okay, so it's typical Dutch to see if you could save some money on something. But as soon as the saving is made, people tend to say, well, leave the lights on. It's durable, it's sustainable, it's cheap. So what we have seen, and this is contradictory to what we are looking for in this project. And it says, hello astronomy, have you seen this yet? LEDs are not helping, they're just making the sky brighter. So even more people, because it's cheap, they're using more light bulbs or LED lights. So this is a threat, I think, to our project. So I think we need to make a next step. If you could show this. So the next step I think would be for this project, not only say, okay, you can save some money for it, but also let them see what is the awareness of pollution, the effect on biodiversity, and not only cheaper lighting, but also smarter lighting. For instance, the light bulbs which you can put on and off from your telephone, or when you're entering a building. And decrease unnecessary lighting. And I would like to make a new project of this with people taking pictures of places that are unnecessarily lit. And if you collect that, you can go to your local community or government and say, okay, this town is not very sustainable in lighting. We saw about 200 places which is lit, but it's unnecessary. So in general about citizen science, my students and students from Globe in the Netherlands, they're stating things like this. They really love this picture. They want to work with them. It's not a book, it's real. I can build and use instruments. My teacher is so much happier when he's outside, and that's true. I think from our point of perspective as teachers, I want to point all out of these, but just 3 of them. Explore, go outside. Activate, do and make. I think it's a good ingredient for success, and also arouses the enthusiasm of your students, and making it visual and making it mappable or making it noticeable, awarded from organizations. So the mayor of your town must come to your school and say, thank you for this. We're really making a light policy for our village. So that's some goals. There's also some threats for citizen science, extracurricular approach. It's been seen as something which is on top of what you teach, and I think it's something that when it's implemented in the right way in your school, in your curriculum, it's not on top. It's improving it, and I think the results will be better. Is it science? Is it geography? So sometimes I have a citizen science project and introduce it to my colleagues, and they say, "Oh, that's not my topic because this is more biology." And I hope to see some more open-minded approach for it. So we have some traditional approach also towards time. People, the first thing they say, "Oh, I don't have the time for it," and Well, I'm in the same position. I do it anyway, and I see it really as an investment because it makes my job more fun. It makes my students better, and so I think the goals for us are equal, and I'm really convinced of this. Okay. So. Let me address this to you. This is a project that I'm really enthusiastic about, and I'm looking for partners. And so I'm also taking the opportunity, because this will be on the internet, and I hope a lot of schools will look into this as well, the scientists. So I want to have this international science project with globe water measurements all along the Rhine basement. A joint project from the source in Swiss to the Dutch deltas, and I'm looking for schools within a range of 10 kilometers that are doing water measurements and on a regularly basis. And this plan is supported now by the International Commission for the Protection of the Rhine. And I'm looking for more organizations to support it, or from on science level, or ideas for what we can research there. So water quality, can you put it on? So water quality, floods, biodiversity, fish migration. The main things that are important is measuring, sharing, comparing, exploring, go outside, visit places. And what I would love to see is that my school with my students will measure, but we also go to the Thomassee in Swiss and to Schaffhausen with the dramatic waterfalls over there. Don't know if the waterfalls is the right word for it. Cascades or no? No? I would love to visit with my students, and the other way around as well. So the Swiss students who live near the Rhine and or somewhere around the Rhine go all the way to the Netherlands and to see where it's going into the sea. So this is also a way to open up the boundaries, to look over the boundaries, and to let them be in contact with each other. By social media or whatever, and also by visiting each other. So I was thinking about Erasmus Plus, but I'm not sure, so I'm open for advices on this, if this is the good platform to use it, because Erasmus, there's a limitation to it, because it doesn't support Switzerland. And this is the most important country in this project, because it's the source. So if you have any advices for this, or how you build a project like this, or you have some partners for me, or partner schools or teachers that are enthusiastic about it, please contact me. I put my contact information. So I'm looking for school scientists, experts on citizen science, or similar projects, water management organizations, or those who know how to make digital mapping work. And I'm not an expert at this at all, so that's what I'm looking for. Please email me. You could use the above one, but sometimes it goes wrong, because there are some. My private email address is a little bit easier, so that's why I put on it both. And well, we'll see. And I hope within a year or 2 years we have this project running, and we'll visit some nice places, and the other way around. Okay. Well, thank you for your attention. So I don't know how much time is left.
Few questions.
Few questions. Okay.
I just, in terms of how they input the data and what they actually put into the data when you had the spectrometers, did they actually take photographs of the spectrum and load that up, or what data did they actually put in?
So they see the spectrum in their spectroscope,
yeah.
and they note they note it and say, okay.
So they note the different frequencies and they
Yeah.
put that in.
Yeah, so we have this on our screen before we go, and we print it out and give it to them. So when they are there, because it's not that easy.
A reference point then.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not it's not that easy.
Yeah.
So we also ask them to confirm. So another student comes in well and
So
says,
you're
okay.
checking them exactly that they're putting in the right data.
Yeah, so they are like, okay, I think this is lead, but I'm not sure, so another student will have to confirm it.
Okay.
And then you put it just on paper. You can, I believe that you could use an app for it as well, which is on a globe, but I'll have some paperwork with that as well. And that's the way they do it, and when they come to school, they put in the data.
Okay. And do you link it to the physics classes in terms of the different frequencies and how they come about and so on, kind of
Yeah.
map it that way and cross-link it?
Yeah, so for different, because I could use it for geography or for science, both.
Physics is...
Yeah, so both.
Okay.
And I think when I'm aiming for more, the chances of it's being picked up is bigger as well.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
I'll pass that on. Oh, sorry.
Thank you very much. I have just this short comment. Do you know this project Crowdwater from Switzerland?
No.
It's from the University of Zurich, and I just met the colleague at another cost workshop. And he is searching for schools. So they are doing monitoring of the water level in different rivers and are searching for schools or partners who do it frequently with the smartphones, and I think it would be perfect.
So John, thanks for having me here, because I was not sure whether my project will fit into this large program, and then you say, no, you have to come because probably you will get into a network of people, and yes, I love to have this contact information. This is what I came for. Thank
I
you.
just met him
Yeah,
yesterday, 2 days ago.
excellent. Yes, thanks a lot. Yeah.
I just wrote that down for you on a list of other water measurement projects. One of them is a project that was run in Germany by through a number of high schools with students, where they all went out into all of the waterways in Germany that feed out to the sea, and they investigated how plastics are flowing through riverways into the sea. It's called Plastic Piraten, and I've written a bunch of projects down.
Perfect. And that adds a new measurement thing to it, which I didn't come up to. The plastic.
Secondary school students, and they looked at the connectivity of all of the waterways feeding into the ocean. So they were looking at this cumulative effect and how it flows through, because they wanted to see where plastics getting in, not just what plastics are coming out. Are you finding the coastline? So they did. It was quite a pretty good impact study.
Thank you for that. I'm looking for the paper. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thank you. So, any more questions?
It's not a question, but just to add on to this. Thank you. So we did also workshops in high schools about water quality, and we designed DIY spectral photometers. So this is, I would be very interested also in joining this project with all the high schools.
I'm getting happier by the minute, so thanks. Yeah.
We received funding from the City Hall of Paris to spread these medical like sort of kits all around France. So maybe you would be interested.
The Rhine River, France.
Yeah, Strasbourg.
So,
Thanks.
I was just wondering what you were doing or what you were interested in with regards to that data visualization for the results. Because I have some colleagues that do a lot of data visualization for mapping, and perhaps that would be of interest for you as well.
Yeah, so the picture that I found from this organization is something that it could look like. So there's a measurement here at school 16, and you go into it and you can see the results of their measurements. And then you can compare it, and what would be an extra additional thing to it is that you could skip through the years. something like that. So if you know someone who's experienced in that, I would love to be in contact with those persons. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you as well.